The 12 Principles of Animation were originally developed by two well-known guys who worked at Walt Disney Studios in the 30s. Together they wrote a book called The Illusion of Life, which explained the 12 different principles. I believe that the 12 principles of animation are crucial in both 2D and 3D animation, and that without these principles we wouldn't have animation at all. I will be showing you some examples from my own work as well as clips from Avatar: The Last Airbender. The first principle is squash and stretch. It gives the illusion of weight and volume to an object or character as it moves and emphasises its speed and momentum. As you can see in my animation, when the ball bounces and hits the ground, it flattens out, giving the ball a sense of weight. As the ball then bounces upwards, it stretches, showing the speed at which the ball is travelling. The next principle is anticipation. This principle prepares the audience for a major action that is about to occur, such as a character starting to run or change their expression. Here, the anticipation is shown as Appa is about to sneeze. His expression changes and he starts to inhale as he prepares for the oncoming sneeze, and then the audience is rewarded when he finally does. The next principle is staging. The audience should clearly understand a character's mood, attitude, or thoughts by their actions and poses as it relates to the storyline. You want to get the idea across by using a few clearly stated actions. I believe this clip uses staging quite well.
My cabbages!
The next principle is straight ahead and pose to pose. The straight ahead method starts with the first drawing and then goes to the second and then the third and so on until the end of a scene. The pose to pose method is where there are drawings at the beginning and end of each key pose throughout the scene. It is more planned out and therefore easier to control proportions and actions, but the spontaneity of the straight ahead method is lost. The next principle is follow through. This is when the main mass of a character or object stops moving and all other parts attached continue to catch up. In this scene, you can see both Sokka's arms and Momo's tail follow through as they move from side to side. The next principle is slow in and slow out. It refers to the way movement starts off slow, then builds up speed, and then slows down again when finishing. As an action starts, there are more drawings close to the beginning pose and the finishing pose, with fewer in the middle. This shows that as the balls go up, they slow down at the top, and as they fall, they gain speed until they hit the ground. The next principle is arcs. Arcs are present in almost every action, giving animations a more natural flow. This is clear in the movement of humans and animals, where any motion is executed in an arc. As seen here, the bouncing balls follow a pattern of arcs when they move across the screen. The next principle is secondary action. This is described as the gestures that reinforce the main action to add more depth to a character's animation. Here you can see Iroh is about to drink a cup of tea, which is the main action, and the secondary action is him smiling contently at the cup and then closing his eyes before he takes a sip. The next principle is timing. An animation's personality and nature is largely affected by the number of drawings or frames embedded between each key action. A character's actions can be faster with fewer drawings and slower with more drawings. In this animation, there are 200 frames, resulting in a very slow walk. Here, this action has only 17 frames, giving this person a very fast walk. The next principle is exaggeration. Every pose, action, and expression can be taken to the next level to boost the effect it has on the audience. You can see here that Aang is running from a large fish, and it is very appealing to the audience because his actions and expressions have been exaggerated to emphasize the situation. The next principle is solid drawing. This is when forms feel like they're in a three-dimensional space by using volume, weight, and balance. It is commonly seen in 2D animation, but it can also be applied in 3D in regards to portraying weight and balance of a character pose. Here, the person is showing that he has weight by shifting his balance. The last principle is appeal. Everything that is animated should be pleasing to look at. Characters should be charismatic, interesting, and have a dynamic design. Looking at this image of Team Avatar, you can see that there is a variety of shapes. They aren't overcomplicated with too much detail, and they each have a different point of appeal. Not only did Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnston create the ultimate survival guide to animation, but they contributed to the development of a wonderful new art form. The 12 principles of animation were devised to help animators create far more engaging scenes, and without these principles I doubt animation would be as brilliant as it is now. As an aspiring animator, I look forward to delving even deeper into these 12 principles and expanding my knowledge and skills. Flameo, Hotman!